welcome to this Google Workspace admin video brought to you by Acer and Apps Events. I'm Charlie Love, and today I'm going to run through how to add admin approvals for devices, automate approvals with rules, approve apps for users, and set app configuration settings. So let's get started. So you want to enable admin approval for devices which are added to Google Workspace. As an admin, you can review and approve each endpoint verification device that accesses your organization's data. By default, all devices are approved once users connect their Google accounts. You can tag these devices as approved or blocked. Access Context Manager uses these tags to configure admin approval based on access levels. Devices that are registered by serial number are approved automatically, even if you set up device approvals. This I covered previously when I looked at setting up company-owned devices in a previous video. To enable admin approvals, you'll need to open the admin console and go to Devices, Mobile and Endpoints, Universal Settings, Security. You can set this policy for all OUs, or you can select a specific OU as needed. Click on the security card and in the Device Approvals section, select Requires Admin Approval. You're probably going to want to receive email notifications when users enroll their devices, so set up an admin group for notifications or use another suitable email address, then save the settings. Approving and blocking devices could not be easier. From the admin console, go to Devices and click Mobile and Endpoints. You can review the list of devices that requested access to Google Workspace data. To allow devices to access your organization's data and to tag endpoint verification devices as approved, select the devices and click More, then Approve Devices. To prevent devices from accessing work data, to tag endpoint verification devices as blocked, select the device and click Block Device. When a user adds a managed account to their device, they see a message that an administrator needs to activate the device. If you have the Enterprise, Education Standard, or Education Plus editions of Google Workspace, then you can automate authorization of devices using rules. You can create a device management rule by going to the admin console and selecting Rules. You can then create a rule to automatically approve a device depending on the triggers and conditions you select. From the admin console, you can also unblock devices that have been blocked, and also remotely wipe devices or remotely wipe the work profile on a device. So with Google Workspace, you can set up approvals for devices which users add to their accounts to. As an admin, you can control which devices are approved and which are blocked. So that's device approvals set up. As an admin, you can also manage the apps available to your users. In your Google Admin Console, go to Apps, Web, and Mobile Devices. Click Add App and then search for apps. Click Enter App Name and enter some or all of the name of the app you want to add. For iOS apps, you can enter the apps.apple.com URL in full. The search begins as soon as you enter the name. If your search returns many results, enter more information in the search box, such as the app developer or keyword in the description. If an app is already added to the list, it's labeled as installed, and you can click View App Details to review the app's settings and user access. To get more information about an Android app, click View in Google Play. To get more information about an iOS app, click View in App Store. When you identify the app you want to add, point to the app and click Select. Select which users can install the managed app from the managed Google Play Store or the Google Device Policy app for iOS. To let all users in your organization install the app, select Entire Organization. To allow only certain users to install the app, click Select Groups or Select Organizational Units. You can add both groups and organizational units depending on the edition of Google Workspace you have. Group settings are applied at the top organizational unit level and override organizational unit settings. If a user belongs to multiple groups with conflicting configurations, the settings are applied in order of group precedence, which you can set after you add the app. Click Continue. You can configure app options based on the app platform. There are options for both Android and iOS platforms. Once your app options are set, click Finish. The app's detail page opens automatically. When you return to the web and mobile apps list, the app is listed almost immediately after you add it. Android apps are available for users to install from Manage Google Play or the Work Apps tab on the Play Store the next time their device syncs with Google Endpoint Management. If a user installs an app from outside the Managed Play Store or the Work Apps tab, the app isn't managed. iOS apps might take up to an hour to appear in the Google Device Policy app on users' devices. If you set the app as managed, the user must install it from the Google Device Policy app. Or, if they install it from the iOS App Store, they must open the Google Device Policy app and accept management of the app. For supervised, company-owned iOS devices, the app is automatically installed silently. To finish up, let's restrict access to Gmail and Drive for untrusted apps. From the Admin Console homepage, click Security and then API Controls, and then App Access Control, and then Manage Google Services. Locate Gmail and Drive in the list of services. If access is set to unrestricted, change this value to restricted. This setting prevents untrusted apps from accessing the services. When you add the app in the preceding steps, the app is automatically trusted and can access Gmail and Drive. As an admin, you can also add private iOS apps or Android apps and internal web apps for Android. Once you have added your app or apps to the list, you can configure app settings. After you add an app to the list, you can hide it from users in the Managed Google Play Store for Android apps or the Google Device Policy app for iOS apps by turning user access off. When you turn user access off, users who already installed the app can still use it and your app settings still apply. To turn user access on or off for certain users, put their accounts in an organizational unit to control access by department, for example, or add them to an access group to allow access for users across or within departments. These settings require advanced mobile management to be enabled. In your Google Admin Console, go to Apps, Web and Mobile Apps. Click the app you want to change the user access for. To review the current user access settings across all OUs and groups, you can do this under User Access, click View Details, click User Access. At the left, click the group or organizational unit you want to change user access for. By default, the top organizational unit is selected and the change applies to your entire organization. Turn user access on or off as you need to. For example, to hide the managed app for all users while you finish app configuration, turn user access off for the top OU. To make the managed app available for only some users, turn user access off for the top OU and turn user access on for child organizational units or groups. Note, when user access is turned on for a group, this setting overrides organizational unit settings. However, you can't explicitly turn off user access for a group. When you uncheck on, users in that group inherit the setting from higher ranked groups or the user's organisational unit. If you set user access from multiple groups, review the order of the groups and set their precedence. Click the app and click User Access. At the left, click Groups. Drag the groups into the order you want their settings to apply to a user who belongs to more than one. Put the group with the highest precedence at the top. Click Save. If you configured an organisational unit or group, you might be able to inherit or override a parent organisational unit or unset a group. Thanks for watching. I'm Charlie Love, and this has been a Google Workspace admin tutorial brought to you by Apps Events and Acer.